To this demo of front office, where I'm going to be looking at some of the aspects around asset management. First of all, I want to show you how different users can get different views of the service catalog. We're logged in now as a user who's an admin user, and they can see all of the different aspects of the service catalog. So they have access to all the different sections. And also, if I click on the asset management link, then they can click through and they can see different areas of asset management for different areas of the business. Now they could go in here and request to change assets in any of those businesses. So if I go back to the top, and what I'm going to do now is to log out, and I'm going to log back in now as a user who is associated to one of those businesses, and it's going to be a slightly different view on the service catalogue. So now you'll see that their view on the service catalogue only has the asset management section, and also they only have access to one area in there, one part of the business, which is the part of the business that they're associated to. Now you could set it up so that they also have access to some of the other parts of the service catalogue, and they could also have access to more than one location as well. It's all down to how we set up that user. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and change an asset. So I'm just going to show you a few more details that we've got in here for changing assets. So on the right hand side we've got all of the requests that enable us to go in and either transfer, retire or update an asset. And also on the left here I've got an example of some reports. In this particular proof of concept, the reports are linked into straight into Altiris, but they could very easily be sourced in Director as well. So I'm just going to first of all show you a report. So I'm going to click on that report, and you can see that click outs to Altiris, and it will display a number of assets that this user has available to them. And you're going to see the status there is set to in stock for all of these assets. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go and raise a request, and you're going to see this this status change as it goes through. So I'm going to click on request to transfer an asset, and I'm now presented with the request form. And here I just need to go in and select which asset I want to move. And this is an integration point between front office and Altiris, and what it's doing is it's querying the CMDB in Altiris, and we can set up filters so that it brings back different assets. For this particular example, it's bringing back the assets that are associated with that part of the business, but we can also do it by user and by any other attribute as well. So I'm going to go and select this particular one here at the top, so the BSIM06 one. I'm just going to click on that, select it, click on OK, and what that does now is it pulls the details of that particular asset back into the request, and so we can use that. We've got all the details there, and we can use that now as the request goes through. I need to choose some other details in here. We're going to do a transfer type of user, so I just need to pick a user that we're going to transfer this asset to, and also the loan period itself. We can specify here how long that loan period is going to be, and that's all the details filled in there. Now at this stage as well, what I could do is save this as a draft, and if I wanted to go and print a form off for this particular request, then I can also do that as well. So if you need to get a form printed off, which can subsequently be signed by someone, then this is how you would do it. So I just need to set my status up. Let's look for all drafts, and it's picked up the request there. So what we've enabled here is what we call a custom form, and what that does is it takes all the details in the request and puts them onto a custom form. So I just need to click through just to generate it. So there you go. So there's the form that could be used to be printed out, and we could get somebody to go and sign that off. Once it's signed off, then what we could do is go and reattach that onto the request as well. You can specify which details from the request you want on here. You can also specify the format of the report, and you could probably add logos in there or whatever it is that you need to make it conform to your own requirements. Okay, so I'm going to go back in now to edit the request, and if we'd printed off that form and perhaps scanned it back in, then what I can do is to come down to the bottom here, click on attach form, and just attach that form now to the request. So as the request goes through, we've got a printed form that we've scanned with a signature on it, and we can use that if we need to later on. You'll see that there's three lines that have come up. The first line is a notification line. And what this is going to do is it's going to work on through an approval hook, which is an automated part of front office. And what that's going to do is it's going to go out and actually change the status of that asset in Altiris and put it as reserved. This is so that whilst this request is going through approval, if anybody else comes in and tries to reserve that asset as well, then they won't be able to, because the status is now set to reserved. The second line is going to allow the manager to go in and decide whether or not they're going to allow this asset to be loaned out to that person. And the final step is going to be actually changing the status from reservation to on loan. Okay, so let's submit this request. So as I said, the first step in there is the is going to change and update that asset so that it goes from in stock to reserved. So if I come back in and look at my report on assets, and we just update that, then we'll see that the asset that we picked will change status, and we'll see that new status displayed on here. So there we are, BSIM006 has now gone to be reserved, and we can see that that status has been updated there. So I'm going to log in now as an manager, and we're going to go in and see what needs to be done with that request. Now Anne would normally receive an email that is telling her that she needs to go in and approve a request, and that when she clicks on the hyperlink on that request, that's going to bring her into the screen that we're going to see now. So she's actually a stager in here, and she sees all of the details in the request, and most of them now she can't actually go and change anymore because they're read-only. But there's a new field on here called do you agree to this, and you can configure this to the wording that you need on it. And she's going to go and select yes or no. Now what we're going to do first of all is we're going to reject this request. So we're going to say no. She can then just go and have a look at the other stages that this request needs to go through, and then she can click on complete stage. So she's actually said now that that asset isn't going to be loaned, and so that's going to now change the status of that particular asset back to, let's go and have a look at it in here. That'll actually change it now back to being in stock. Let's just do a quick refresh on that. And there you go, status has changed now back to in stock. And also now if we come and have a look at the actual request itself, which was this request 258, we'll be able to see that that's actually been rejected as well. I'm just going to log out of there. We'll log back in as the user. Who raised the original request. And if we go and check his requests now, change the draft to all. Have a look at request 258, and we can see the status there has been set to approval declined. So that request was actually declined. So again, we're going to raise another request now from Richard White, and this time we're going to go in and do a similar sort of thing that we did last time. I request to transfer an asset. We're going to complete the same details again, so we're going to try and have the same asset. So we click OK. Again, that pulls all the details back into there. Again, we're going to put a loan period on this. And we're going to pick transfer type. This time we'll say we'll want to transfer it to a different type of cost center. So now instead of a user list, I'm presented with a drop-down cost center list. So there's all the information now completed on that request. Oh, I just need to put in the loan date. I must have missed that. Okay, so click on Approver, and we'll see all of the workflow routing that this request needs to go through this time. So it's the same as last time, the same routing. We've got this first of all a reservation, then we're going to make a decision, and finally we're going to manage that reservation into, this time it'll be a status of on loan. So again, I'm going to submit that request. As last time, we just come out now and have a look at the status on the report through Altiris. Then we'll see when that updates, again, the status should change to reserved. There we go, status reserved. So I'm just going to come in here again. We're going to log out as Richard White. We're going to log back in now as Ann Manager. And this time, we're going to go straight into the approval. So it's request 259. And this time, instead of selecting no, we're going to say yes, we do agree to this. And once we agree on that, again, we can check on the other approval routing that's going to go through, and we can complete the stage. Now this time, we're going to see the status change again, and the status is going to change. Just click on the refresh button. The status is going to change to on loan from reserved. There we go, it's now at status on loan. That completes this demo on asset management aspects through front office. If you've got any more questions, please go to our website at www.biomni.com or drop us an email at info@biomni.com. Thank you.